What's up, Hoopers? The Lakers are not looking good this season, going down 0-5, and man, I don't know if they can find a shooter. Did they got to trade all their assets? This is LeBron James' 20th season. Is he going to ask for a trade to get out of the Lakers, since the Lakers don't seem to be bringing anybody in soon? Now, this wouldn't be the first time that LeBron James went against the entire world and became the black hat wearing villain who left the Cleveland Cavaliers to go take his talents down to South Beach to Miami. And with LeBron James with only 4 rings trying to get number 5, 6, 7, 8, however many, he might have to pack his bags and move out of LA. And the good news is there's 3 teams right now that are just one LeBron James player away from being the team to beat in the entire NBA. They have plenty of draft capital, they have plenty of assets that they could trade, and now the Lakers wouldn't be strapped with picks that are like 30 years down the road, and they could kind of go into rebuild mode. So if LeBron James were to get frustrated because this season may not work out, what are the 3 places that he would want to go or that could take him on? That's what we're going to discuss, and I am your NBA white guy. I talk all things NBA hoops from a hooper's perspective, and if you love that kind of content, then make sure you dunk that like button and you subscribe so that you never miss a thing. So your NBA white guy here is broken down to 3 destinations that the King Almighty LeBron James could end up going to. Now, he's in his 20th season and he is looking fantastic, but this is something, as we saw in his cryptic message on Instagram, don't take me for granted, is he's starting to think, I wonder if I should ask for a trade. Instead of waiting till Thanksgiving or 20, 30 games down the road for some other star to get disgruntled, maybe LeBron gets disgruntled and maybe he goes somewhere else. So with that, we got to break down these 3 teams. Now, the 3rd team, oh boy, watch out. Not only would it be the best team to beat this season, it might be the best team that's ever been created. The Los Angeles Lakers have kicked off the 2022-2023 season looking even worse than they did last season. That's pretty tough to beat. And with the Lakers sitting now at an 0-5 record, not looking to get any better any soon, these are the teams that I feel he could move on to. Now, first, we got to talk about his contract. So he signed a $97.1 million extension, and this was in the hopes that the Lakers would bring in more talent to surround him so that he could try and win more titles, more championships. Well, they haven't really done that yet, and there's not a lot of players out there that can make them title contenders. Now, there are some interesting trades. We've talked about that multiple times on this channel, so you can check out those videos. But what if old King James was to pack the bags and head somewhere else? Team number 1, the Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns, they were one of the top suitors for Kevin Durant this offseason. He tried to force his way up the Brooklyn Nets, and we all know he wanted to go down to Phoenix. And now if LeBron wants to go, he might be following in the same direction. Look, they've got an impressive backcourt already with Devin Booker and with Chris Paul, but we've all seen Devin Booker in the playoffs. He kind of shrinks a little bit, but you get an all-time great like LeBron to go in there and teach you how to be a professional who's won championships. It could not only help them win a championship this year, but Devin Booker to completely change the trajectory of his career. Now, the other aspects of this is they have a ton of draft capital that they could trade the Lakers for LeBron James. And they do have some younger players like Cameron Johnson and Michael Bridges who seem to play pretty well. They're great role players, but man, you take one of those out and you put LeBron James in with that backcourt, DeAndre Ayton, this team could be easily one of the better teams in the NBA. And maybe, just maybe, since Ayton and the Suns seem to have been in some kind of disagreement in the offseason, maybe they would move off of DeAndre Ayton too, bringing in LeBron James, keeping some of that draft capital, and possibly getting another big man somewhere else. Now, I really wish they would have kept JaVale McGee, and then you could have moved off Ayton, but right now, the Phoenix Suns would be an incredible team that actually has the draft assets, that actually has some good role players, that could trade the Los Angeles Lakers, get LeBron to a title contending team, and with some of the young guys they have right now and acquiring these draft picks, they wouldn't suck for like the next 10 years. Number 2 team out there. Now, this would be insane. So right now, if you want LeBron James to stay and the Lakers to bring in talent, hit the like button. If you want LeBron James out of the Los Angeles Lakers to another title contending team, hit the subscribe button. We'll count them up. Team number 2, that would be back to Miami. I'm going to Miami. But this time, it might not be as villainized. He might not be wearing the black hat and the mask that he wore the other time, but this could be a great landing spot for the King. Now, we've already seen LeBron James leave Cleveland, go to Miami, go back to Cleveland. I'm coming home, and he won a chip. But what if he did it for Miami, left Miami and comes back to Miami? I'm coming to my second home. Hey, this would be a great fit. He already respects that system. He already respects that team. He already respects that coach. And there are some incredible players around him where they would make a deep run into the playoffs. So similar to the Suns, the Heat were involved in the Durant rumors this offseason. They could make a bigger push to bring James back to Miami if he were to become available. Whereas the Suns don't necessarily have a gaping hole that James could fill, the Heat do. After losing PJ Tucker is one of them dudes that like every team loves to have. And he's only a 6'7" big man, but that vet presence in there is really big. Who's got bigger vet presence? King James. And since PJ Tucker is gone, well, who could slide right into that spot? He's 6'9", 250. King James. So now you got Jimmy Buckets, you got Bam Adebayo. You may have to trade some of those pieces like Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson, which seems like they've done everything to get rid of him except for get rid of him. But they do have draft capital as well. You get some of these players around LeBron James, a Jimmy Butler who has proven himself to not only be an incredible player, but in the postseason really step that game up. And Bam Adebayo, who does better with the pick and roll than anybody? It's LeBron James. You got an athletic Bam? There you go. And like mentioned, the Heat have a decent amount of tradable draft picks, which always helps. And they may be willing to part way with Tyler Hero, like I mentioned. So even after he signed that extension right before the start of the season, adding LeBron James could finally result in bringing the trophy back down to the South Beach. And so, if LeBron James were to become available and say, I want out, the Miami Heat would be putting a massive push to bring the King back. But oh wait, it gets even crazier. We're going to go to the #1 team right now that would be not only great this season and unbeatable, but maybe the best team of all time. That would be the Golden State Warriors. Could you imagine? Now, how many times in the last 2-3 years have you heard LeBron James say, I want to play with Steph Curry? How many times have you heard Steph go, that's a pretty big honor? I think these two are cooking something up. They become closer and closer, and I couldn't imagine. Remember seeing them in the All-Star game the past? Like, they just play so well off each other. And what does LeBron James need around him? Shooters. Well, you have arguably the greatest shooters of all time on one team, and LeBron's just going to be kicking passes. Now the center of the paint won't be all packed up like it is. He's going to drive right down the middle, kick it out to Klay Thompson, kick it out to Steph Curry. Shoot, I think half the Golden State Warriors fans are better shooters than the Lakers. And the one thing about the Warriors, they are not too proud to bring in any star, just like they did Kevin Durant. And Steph already proved himself that he could win it without a Durant, without a LeBron. He won Finals MVP this season, and now they're just trying to get number 5, number 6, number 7, and really stretch this dynasty out. Now, this would also include a bunch of draft capital from the Golden State Warriors, and obviously they are filled with young talent. So again, it's a win-win for both sides. The Lakers get off of Braun. They get a bunch of their draft capital back. They get a bunch of young stars, and they can kind of go into rebuild mode. And, well, the Golden State Warriors want to keep ripping off chips, and so does LeBron James. So that would be the best situation, period. He could stay in California, take private jets or whatever to practice, and go in there and instill his toughness. Yes, I'm talking about mental toughness. Because what did the Warriors do last season? They actually overcame the Boston Celtics to be the #1 defense. And they're not really showing it this year. And you might be like, well, why about LeBron and defense? Because that dude's going to want to win. He knows he has a championship team. And when you see this, you watch his whole game elevate. He's going to be in the butts of this team. He's going to make sure that they play defense. And he might even bring some of that Darvin Ham strength right with him to make sure they don't waste this opportunity. But you vote right now down below. A, should he stay in LA? B, should he go to the Phoenix Suns? C, should he go down to Miami Beach? And D, should he go to the Golden State Warriors? Vote down below what you guys think. Personally, I'm saying go to Golden State, baby. I would love to see Steph Curry and LeBron play together. But go down right now and hit that subscribe button. Help a little NBA white guy out. And make sure you hit the like button. If you want, watch the greatest video you've ever seen in your life right here as well. And until my next video, homies, we'll catch you later.